You're watching Morgan News Now. I'm your host, Valencia Harris. Baltimore City remains in the spotlight as the calls for Mayor Catherine Pugh to resign continue to grow. Agents from the FBI and IRS executed search warrants at several locations in the city on April 25th. Two of those properties included Mayor Pugh's home and City Hall. Agents were seen retrieving large boxes from the properties. Some were labeled Healthy Holly books. The search warrants come as Mayor Pugh remains embattled in a scandal involving her Healthy Holly children's books. In other political news, the race for president in 2020 just got larger. Former Vice President Joe Biden formally joined the crowded Democratic presidential contest. In a video posted on Twitter, Biden declared the soul of this nation at stake if President Donald Trump wins re-election.
The core values of this nation, our standing in the world, our very democracy, everything that has made America, America is at stake. That's why today I'm announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
The 76-year-old Biden becomes an instant frontrunner alongside Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, who is leading in many polls. Back here on campus, we are recovering from I Love Morgan Week. This year's festivities were full of lit events and beautiful weather. The fun kicked off with a silent disco party. BearTV intern Jacob Eldridge was there and caught all of the action.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Courtney Lene. I'm here with BearTV here at the Silent Disco. You know, Cab presented it. I'm gonna let y'all know something. It's real late, and I can't even lie to y'all. So, you know, we're gonna take y'all on a little field trip tonight. We're gonna let y'all go through there, see what's going on, see all the colors, get some feedback from the students, y'all. Y'all don't want to miss this. So stay tuned, all right? Bye. Hey y'all, it's Courtney Lene back at it again. You know, I'm here with two of the illustrious Cab members. Tell them your name.
Raymond. Kishore.
Okay. So, we're here at you guys' Silent Disco. Tell me, why did y'all choose Silent Disco for this event?
When we threw the event last year, and people really had like good feedback. They said they wanted us to bring it back. So, you know, we here for the people, so we get the people what they wanted.
Maya, aka Low Key.
Oh, okay. So tell me about the event, the Silent Disco. Let me know something about it.
It's pretty lit. I try to go like each year and stuff when they have it. Like it was pretty dope. Blue Channel was like really like live, like.
So we're on different channels, and then different channels play different kind of music, and like I liked it because it played Jersey music, and you guys never played Jersey music on like the parties.
Are you from Jersey?
Yeah, Jersey.
Man, as y'all can see, it was lit. Y'all, I honestly think I sweated out my edges, but we ain't gonna really talk about that. But yo, if you was not here at the Silent Disco presented by Cab, y'all missed it. And I'm sorry, but it's okay, because we got tomorrow. It's I Love Morgan Week, y'all. Come on, we're gonna be doing this all week, period. But look, don't forget to check us out on BearTV and follow us at BearTV MSU on Instagram. So yeah, we're gonna put all that, you know, right here somewhere. But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in. I'm Courtney Lene, and I'm out. Bye, y'all.
The week ended on a high note with a flurry of events. The men of Iota Phi Theta Fraternity Incorporated Alpha Chapter hosted a stroll competition Thursday night. This is where members of various Greek organizations came together and competed for bragging rights. On Friday, everyone popped out for the Yard Fest at Augsfield. Friday night, we had even more fun with a carnival for all of the students. We got to give props to Campus Activities Board for a great time. You're watching Morgan News Now, and we'll be right back.
Listen up, Morgan. It's time we take control of our health. Put down the sugary drinks, sodas, juice, sports drinks. Your body will thank you. Instead, let's take the real water challenge. Will you join me? Drinking water will help you overcome fatigue. Want to lose some weight? Water consumption before meals helps you reduce your hunger. Prevent muscle cramps and sprains with proper hydration. Headaches are a thing of the past for those who hydrate. Take charge of your health, hydrate today, and join the Morgan Water Challenge.
He said, "You can trust me. Are you trying to call me dirty?"
She says she got tested, and it was negative. So we went ahead and had sex.
A month ago, I found out that I had chlamydia.
3 days after it happened, she told me that she had genital herpes.
That was my first time.
She lied to me.
Welcome back. You're watching Morgan News Now. Remember having dress codes in school? Well, how about this? Can you imagine a parent having a dress code? Believe it or not, a Houston high school has implemented a new dress code for parents. The adults are no longer permitted on school grounds wearing satin caps, bonnets, hair rollers, pajamas, or leggings. Anything revealing, such as low-cut tops, sagging pants, short shorts, and dresses that are up to your behind are also banned. Any parent who shows up in the forbidden attire will not be allowed back on school grounds until they appear in different clothing. It's shout-out time. Multi-platform production Wyman Jones and Morgan alumni Jalissa Mayo are doing big things. The two were a pair of creating the film Smithville. The movie tells a story of an African-American town whose future is being threatened by a march moving ever so closely to the graveyard and church. Big ups to both Morganites. As the semester comes to a close, we wanted to have a little fun on campus. Professor Prince sent her MPPD 350 students out to ask other students their thoughts on zodiac signs. It's a lighthearted piece that we think you'll enjoy. Check it out.
My name is Aaliyah and you're watching Inside the Cave.
I believe in zodiac signs because I'm a Pisces, right? And my ex, that's my baby father, but he a Gemini and he really do have split personalities, like, yeah.
I know a lot of people hate me, I'm a Gemini, so I don't know why people hate Gemini so much. Like, we're caring people. Like, they say we lie, but I don't think we lie.
Why you always lying?
So I believe in it though.
I don't believe in zodiac signs because I wasn't raised like that. I just never really believed growing up, so.
I think that people should base people off of their zodiac sign. I feel like this generation really does. As soon as you like see somebody like, oh, I'm like a Scorpio or like a Capricorn, like, oh, I already know who you are, I'm not gonna talk to you.
You watching Inside the Cave, man. It's your boy Marley, man. Holla at me, man.
If you have a story, just slide in our DMs. We are MSU BearTV and Morgan News Now on IG. Thank you for watching Morgan News Now. We hope to see you again next week.
Three historically black churches were intentionally burned down in 10 days in Louisiana. The three churches were Mount Pleasant Baptist Church, St. Mary's Baptist Church, and Great Union Baptist Church. Each church was just a few miles away from each other and were all over 100 years old. Louisiana Police Department have arrested a sheriff deputy's son, Matthew Holden, in connection to the fires. The 21-year-old faces multiple charges of arson if convicted. What are your thoughts on the church's fires? Please leave your comments below. My name is Desmond Desabugwa, and this has been the Morgan Minute.
One thing, like, I'll tell you one thing. I was like nervous to come here, like West Virginia. To me, like one of the first things we heard when like we're going, like, oh, it's like, you know, it's Trump like area, it's Trump Nation down here, and I'm just like, okay, well, if they like Trump, then clearly they have a certain mindset. And so I was like, how am I gonna talk to people? I was like, I may just like take a step back and see how everybody's interacting first, and kind of weave my way in there. So it's gonna be a little bit more difficult if they're not open to talking to me just because I look different.
I'm from a tiny town, and you know, I had one African-American person in my graduating class.
When you feel that you're on the victim side of the ledger, the perspective is, why are these people doing this to us? You know, we need to tell our story because no one will tell our story for us. But what happens in the process is you develop some understanding of where the other person comes from, and that's a large part of journalism. We tell the students, go out and try to walk a mile in the other guy's shoe, try to tell the story from somebody else's perspective. And this was the first time where you worked that closely together with someone where the other guy's perspective was right in front of your nose.
Mm-hmm.
And so not only was it the story that was out there, but it was the story between them.
The social justice reporting class this semester with our students from the Reed College of Media and students from Morgan State University is focused on food systems, food access, and food justice. What we're trying to do is disrupt master narratives about food access, food deserts. And what we're doing is looking at it from a different perspective. We want to teach young journalists to do social justice reporting, to look at the intersections of race, of class, of gender, of disability.
We're going out in West Virginia and Baltimore and trying to understand how the food systems work in these different locations.
In Baltimore, it's a whole bunch of people in one area with no food. And here it's like everywhere is separate and there's one place for food. So it's like completely opposite, but they're having the same exact issue.
Our group specifically is government, and I've kind of tried to dive into that, and it's been a little saddening to know, like, yes, the government is trying to help, but the system is not doing what it should be doing, and it comes back to money.
I think one thing so far I've learned is that it's a system of how food is distributed, who controls it, who gets it, how they get it.
Growing up in Delaware, the majority of my high school is African American. So for me, coming into this project, it wasn't just about food systems or food justice. It was about rewriting that story, that narrative, and bringing in those new perspectives. And that's why I think this collaboration is so important.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. Victory. Fumble. Repeat. It always came back.
Okay, here we go, throw it!
Yeah. You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Nice.
Cinema is the first Black-owned movie theater in Baltimore. The theater aims to bring unity to the community. Watching diverse films in a Black-owned theater definitely takes representation to the next level. The theater sits in the Pikesville community. The independent theater offers the intimate experience with cushioned seats, a bar, and exquisite food. Right now, the theater holds a 5-star rating since opening day, March 7th. Do you think this business will inspire other Black-owned businesses? Comment down below your favorite Black-owned business.
I went before, like, freshman years. So I know it'll be cool.
I want an overwhelming emotion of sadness.
Why sadness?
And because I want to, people say they cry when they go. I want to know what they're crying at.
I didn't.
You didn't hear that?
No, I did hear that, and I went there and I didn't cry. I was like, wow. But
Yeah, I want to do that. I want to be like, why? Why would they do that? I want to feel better connected.
Well, I've been to the museum before, but I really want to see more of the slavery exhibit because I did not. Like when I first went, I was like, I'm not spending my whole time down in the basement. So I really want to see that. I know it's really cool.
I heard about that from my family because they went before me. And I heard there's like, what, 4 or 5 floors? Or is it more than that?
I think it's like 5 floors.
5 floors, yeah. So like, I want to make sure I spend as much time on each one possible.
Oh, well, I've actually been a couple times as well, but you know, each floor is so big you can't see it all. So I'm kind of gonna see what I've missed before. So that's fine.
Same. I've been there before. I saw most of the slavery and everything, but I just want to absorb the culture. Really, I guess that makes sense. I just want to absorb the culture, not really feel sad when I leave. Yeah.
Okay, so what am I expecting from this trip? I'm not really sure what I'm expecting from this trip actually. I've never been, but I've heard like it's pretty cool. Some people have said that it makes you cry or something. So I guess I'm kind of hoping to see how that's gonna go. But you know, I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty sure we're not gonna see the whole thing like today or anything, but I'm excited to see the certain parts that we're gonna see today. So, you know, we'll see when we get there, right, Baldwin?
exactly.
Hey y'all, I don't know where we're at. I think it's like a little special garden that you know.
This is the MLK Memorial
Yeah,
joint.
it leads to the memorial part, the mountain.
Yeah,
the
because
quote on the side is, "Out of a mountain of despair is a stone of hope," or something like that.
Yeah, because apparently we got here way too early, so we're doing a couple more sightseeing before it's time. So right now we're at the memorial, and it's actually pretty cute actually. Surprisingly, I'm like from this area and I've never been here, so
What?
that's pretty embarrassing. Yeah,
I've been here a few times. First time I went here, I was like 15.
yeah, I really suck. Like I've never been here. Oh, it's so cold.
They don't even look like him. Just like him.
Shall overcome. We shall overcome.
Why are you still saying
Shall overcome someday. Right. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe that we shall overcome someday.
Yes, Anthony.
Take him to church, right there. I had to take it.
My name is Marcel. Thank you for coming. We'll be opening the doors in about, how many more minutes? 2 minutes. Couple of things. Pictures are allowed except for the in-retail exhibit. So you can take pictures. Do not use your flash. If you have food,
Okay, cool. So if you guys look to the front of you, you'll find years. All of these years are significant to the African American history in some way, shape, or form, all right? All these years, this is going to be a timeline for our history galleries, all right? Side note, we encourage photography throughout the entire museum. However, on level C2, we have Emmett Till's memorial. We are asked not to take photos in that memorial space. We do have his original coffin there, and we will respect that. That's by his family's choice, okay? Also, there's only one restroom in this exhibit. This exhibit is 1.5 miles long from start to finish. That restroom will be to the right of the elevators when you guys get off. Your journey will start to the left. The doors are opening from here.
Gold, unlike gold, sugar didn't grow. It provided the possibility of unlimited wealth. Life expectancy of an enslaved worker on early sugar plantations was 7 years, not 70, 7 years, because of the horrendous process. But the barracoons is where individuals will be kept. So those who were trading, Africans who were trading, now become the trade dead then. Shackles and chains.
Purchase your tracks today.
I have more ways to commit acts that will shameful.
Shackles for kids.
What?
Those, see how they spawn their own? Kids. They're literally made for kids.
So that same thing happening. Africans didn't lose those skills of being able to cultivate rice or basket a lot in this space. We talk about to the left behind you, residents.
Okay, so we've been here for like 10 to 20 minutes, and wow, it's crazy. Like honestly, like, 'cause I mean, we learn about this stuff, and like, you know, I obviously I knew it wasn't gonna be like all sunflowers and seeds, but to see like the serious realities of the situation, like to see, like just to see it with your own eyes, like it's just. Wow, it's crazy. It's really crazy.
Makes me most uncomfortable with this experience as far as like Caucasian people viewing it is that they're gonna see this and say, oh, you know, this is why all lives matter, black lives matter, like everyone matters. It's not that. If you can't recognize our differences and our plight, then you just don't understand. I feel like a lot of them are coming here, they're gonna see, they're not gonna understand where we stand in our history and how we're not the same and we need different treatment. And that transpires into the hashtag All Lives Matter movement, which is definitely not where it's at, but I'm sorry.
My man, Martin Luther King.
Oh, this is
apartheid.
So it's time for lunch now, and I don't know. I'm kind of hoping to see some. I don't know what I'm excited to see. Wow. Okay. I mean, the first exhibit that we went through was really depressing, so I don't really know if I want to do another depressing one because I feel like that really drained my emotions a lot. It goes up from here, so that's perfect. So now we're about to just go see some other stuff. It's only like 12 o'clock. I feel like we've been here for hours though. So, you know, we're just about to go see what's going on, have a little fun. But I'm just gonna say that the food here is really, really expensive for no reason. And it's not even that good to be that expensive.
Oh, that's like the fraternities.
Awesome job. Now, let's stay in attention. The next call is brothers.
Hey, Baldwin, that formation. What you crossed?
Bring your fist down to your waist.
Go, that's okay. It's good. Thanks.
Step your arms back to the position. Let's give it a try. Brothers and sisters. Yes.
Done it. Sorry.
Very nice. Now, you're ready to learn. The first movement we're going to learn is called the march. Start with your left leg. Ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. Step. Very nice. Now you're going to roll your arms just like this. Left. You got it. Left. Very good. Left. You guys are naturals. Okay, so now that we're on the march, let's move on to the play. It goes like this. Point, step, point. Very good. Wait.
Boo.
Oh, we go like this. Oh, no.
So now we learn the blade and we learn the march. Let's move on to the clap.
You're not going to see me cross.
Nene, why you doing that thing with your legs? To the left, to the left.
Wait.
Join in. Wait. Very good.
Oh, we still doing the same
Go
thing?
ahead.
Wait. You have to step back.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
I don't know.
Awesome.
This is so embarrassing.
He said you're a natural. I don't know. It looks pretty bad to me.
You want to try it?
I surely do not.
This is so embarrassing.
Y'all gonna do this one too?
I'm not crossing anything anytime soon.
Let us show you what we do. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Ooh.
Wait, did I get it?
I didn't get it.
Done it. They will beat you with a paddle board. You looking like this. Like, this is outrageous.
4 times.
Wait, I got it this time. Hold up.
I'm gonna sit back down.
Follow me. Ready?
Going too fast.
She really is.
5, 6, 7, 8.
I mean, I have, but that literally. Okay, now I see that. All right.
Like she's known as the hat lady in church, and then everybody here knows she wears the hat.
always say like this up and up because like if any career
Are you good at this?
who made it's like a delay.
Okay, so we've successfully gone through most, if not all, the exhibits in this museum. And I can honestly say that, I really enjoyed this experience. Like, it had a lot of different aspects of Black life, from school, music, sports, like just every different aspect that I would even really think about. Yeah. So I feel like I learned a lot, and it just kind of really made me proud to be Black. And I also got to see a lot of my favorite celebrities and clothes that they actually wore, which really excited me. So I really like that. And what about you, Chloe?
I think that the museum encompassed everything that I wanted to see today, so that was pretty successful. I'm not disappointed. There's nothing else that I could possibly look forward to at this moment. We've exercised all of our opportunities here, so it was a good experience overall. Very educational as well, and I do see myself coming back. So.
I do too. I feel like if there was, honestly, actually, I don't think there's anything I would change. I feel like this museum is as awesome as it possibly can be.
Yeah, they did a good job with it.
Yeah, so for the people that have designed and created this museum, they did a really good job.
This is my first time coming. Yours too?
Yeah, it is.
So, and I'm a picky person and very judgmental, so this is good for me, actually.
Yeah, I feel like I learned a lot more about Black history in this museum than I've learned throughout my entire kindergarten through 12th grade experience. I think there's a lot of stuff I learned that I didn't know. So yeah, we really enjoyed it, and we hope to come back in the future, hopefully.
If you wanted to, we the Bears, we the Live Squad, we the orange and blue. Hit the folks, then we mainly rock, then we drop on you. Get the win, then we leave the field like we wanted to. Hey, we the best now, we make winning moves. Say we the best now, we make winning moves. If you see us on the field, that means you are gonna lose. And we quick, so just take this out. Now we comfortable. Hey. Hey!
Get it there!
Hey!
Yeah. Pump it up, pump it up!
Hey!
What?
Morgan!
Hey!
If you ever end up in a situation like mine, make sure to contact the MSU Police Department at 410-396-2444. Be sure to look up and look out by paying attention to your surroundings at all times.
My name is Guillerma Tiora Ortiz Walker Pettigrew, but you can call me T. I've had levels, complex trauma. I grew up in foster care, and that was its own hard thing. I also was victimized on the streets from 10 to 17 through domestic minor sex trafficking, so that was also a hard thing. Going through college in itself, Morgan is my 4th college, and so this has been 10 years of trying to get my degree. That's a hard thing. So I've also lost people in my life, so death is a big thing. My sister was murdered when I was 14. I think coming from foster care, there were certain things that rendered me more vulnerable for sex trafficking. Coming up in foster care, you're told all the time that you ain't nothing but a paycheck. Like, people ain't worried about you unless they getting some money, you know, and these are people who would take their biological children to J.C. Penney's and take you to Goodwill, you know, while they're getting income in their pockets for you. And so I think that being the normalization of being objectified for nothing but monetary purposes was one thing that made it more acceptable to me as a young person. Again, I was 10 years old when it started, and so I was a baby. Going from home to home to home ain't no different for a child than going from hotel to hotel to hotel. I actually am a third generation. My mother was also in foster care and sex trafficked. Her mother was in foster care and sex trafficked. I actually don't remember my birthdays, 10 through 13. My 14th birthday, I was in Las Vegas. My 15th birthday, I was in San Diego. My 16th birthday, I was on a Greyhound coming back from the state of Washington. And my 17th birthday, I was in juvenile hall. And one of the first things I did when I was in juvenile hall was write a letter to the judge and say, hey, judge, I want to get out XYZ. This is why I want to better my life. And it was the first time in my life that I actually really, really wanted to do something, because my whole life I was told you had to be 18 before you can change your life, you know, before you can rent a hotel by yourself, before you can get a car by yourself, before you can get an apartment by yourself, you have to be 18. So being that close to 18, I just knew that I was ready to change my life.
The first time I met Morris, the door flew open and I got this larger-than-life personality talking at the top of his lungs.
Hey, how you doing today?
Oh, man. Oh, I totally forgot. Hold on, let me get this for you. Oh. Just had a magnetic energy. So I thought, all right, we're definitely gonna be friends.
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
America, let's do lunch.
My name is Keiswana Williams, and I'm here to end sexual harassment and sexual assault.
1 in 5 women experience sexual assault while in college.
Another 25% of women experience sexual harassment in the workplace.
The Me Too movement is a movement against sexual assault and sexual harassment that went viral in 2017.
75% of harassment victims experience retaliation just because they reported it. Me Too movement brought down nearly 201 powerful men. They all have been replaced by women. We here at Morgan State do not tolerate sexual assault or harassment. What are you going to do?
So I just won Brave New Voices 2016 and MPS 2016, 2 of the biggest spoken word competitions in the world. I think I just became the first spoken word artist to do both in the same year and win both in the same year. And I just became the first person in Baltimore to compete on both teams at the same time. Five, 4, 3, put the gun to his head. 5, 4, 3, pull the trigger, and he's dead. I got my first kill today. When you're a soldier, you're taught that they're just silhouettes. They're not real people, just targets. Taught that there's no room for regret in the eyes of a soldier, I learned how to stomach death like a predator with live prey still clawing at its insides. But no one ever understands. The blood stains memories like generational trauma. Ever understanding he was a soldier just like me. He had a family just like me. He was protecting his home just like me. It was either my life or his. I'm still not sure which one of us was the villain in the situation. My psychologist holds up ink blots. She asks me, what do you see? I tell her, I see the silhouette of the enemy, of the target, of a child. No. I see darkness. I see a soldier just following orders. I see a silhouette of a weapon that was never there to begin with. I see a soldier holding a semi-automatic to an unarmed 14-year-old silhouette on enemy lines. I see a soldier witnessing the aftermath of a war zone with a gun to his own temple. Post-traumatic self-destruction is just what happens when you finally feel the impact of the bullet that was never sent in your direction. Did you know that when the body is dead, that the bowels release, it's a scent that can't be washed away from your conscience easily as sin can? Someone please tell me. Do all military dogs go to heaven? Do we still have a place among the angels that we've murdered? Why does preserving the peace feel like home invasion? They're just silhouettes, aren't they? Have you ever seen a bullet make two men become soulless at the exact same time? 9mm bullet lasts through the jaw of a 14-year-old silhouette. You can still see the twitch in the body and make out cries and screams to his mother as he choked on his own blood, only guilty of being in the wrong place, at the wrong time, on the wrong side of a battlefield. When you deal with America, when do you have rights anyway? My family and country call me a hero. Do you know how hard it is to go home to your child with a smile on your face that you took from someone else? Do you know how hard it is to whitewash genocide out of a uniform? It is the duty of a soldier to serve and protect everyone in this country except for black people. I mean silhouettes. They always tell you that there's a war going on, but they never tell you about the horrors of that war when you sign up. Here at the police academy.
So Avengers Endgame. Wow. Wow. Double wow. Triple wow. 1,000 wows. This was Michael Jordan Game 6. This was Michael Jackson, Motown 25, introducing the moonwalk for the first time. This was Tiger Woods coming back and winning the Masters after ruining his life by cheating on his wife. This movie was absolutely everything that you could possibly think of. It was that. It was everything. There were so many shocking moments. There were so many oh shit moments. There were so many did that just happen moments. Robert Downey Jr. put on an acting masterclass. Shouts out to brother Robert Downey Jr. I love you, man. Chris Hemsworth, amazing. Scarlett Johansson, so dope. Josh Brolin continues to show why Thanos will always be in the top tier of villains of all time. Like, I thought we saw all Thanos had to offer, but we didn't. No, we did not. The action was absolutely crazy. Think Smash Brothers times Marvel. Like, I felt like I was 5 years old again on the porch playing with action figures with my friends. You can tell that these fights were pulled from the minds of nerds. Watching this, you will go through the full range of human emotion. The great thing about the trailers is that the trailers tell you absolutely nothing. So many unexpected things happen. This movie was worth every second. It's 3 hours long, but it's not a bad 3 hours. There's very little lag time. Make sure you pee beforehand. This is how you end the Infinity War saga.
Did I say there was an issue?
Because you keep looking at me. That's
And I
the
have
issue.
2 eyes and I can look where I want.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
Hold up. Would this happen with Black knowledge? Let's take a look. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "I look to a day when people will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character." Why are so many of us quick to use skin color as a tool of shame and division? We are all different colors under the same human family. You never know what could be learned from the next person if you base your actions on prejudice. Learn what's true. Find Black knowledge.
Hey girl,
Hey.
you're in my journalism class, right?
Yeah.
You got an A on the last test?
How did you do it? Because I am struggling.
I don't like this place. Brothers getting killed. People thought of friends are fake.
When it's time to leave, where will you go?
How will you choose to break your plateau?
The shackles and chains are all of the mind.
Fear and doubts are all left behind.
The challenge is great,
If not, a little hostile.
but we'll be fine. Just keep the gospel. My name is Adam, and I'm a hip-hop artist from Baltimore named Sun Zulu.
No, hip-hop has always been in my life. My brother's a DJ, and growing up, his sounds were always playing throughout the house. So I knew like Wu-Tang, Big Daddy Kane, Nas, Mobb Deep, all those, A Tribe Called Quest, all that, you know, was embedded in me from early on.
My name is Nyota Parker. I'm 18. I'm a rapper, singer, and songwriter. I'm half Irish, half Congolese, and I'm, now part of this African culture, so that's who I am. I was introduced to music when I was, very, very young. I probably started singing and stuff when I was 4, and then started rapping when I was maybe around 10-ish. So ever since I was in Ireland and super young, I knew about music and it was always something like deep within me. But then when I came here and I was introduced to like hip hop and rap and all of that, then it really started growing from there.
Hip hop was always that outlet that I used to escape the problems of the world. I wrote my first rhyme when I was about 9 years old. It was about time and how we never have enough time. And it seems that I've always wanted to reflect my thoughts into lyricism and writing.
I love jazz, I love neo-soul, I love boom bap and all that mellow kind of vibes, right? And all of those kinds of people really just brought out this other, mellow and more conscious side of me, which is where I'm leaning more towards, but I can't get away from both sides, so I decided to, fuse both of these sides of me. I then created a new kind of genre called Traz, which is a unique infusion of trap and jazz. I was always, an outcast in school and in class. I would just sit inside or sit in the bathroom to eat my lunch and watch YouTube videos because I just liked to be alone a lot of the time. And I started just doing my own thing. Then people started to realize what I'm doing instead of taking it as, a joke.
High school was when things started to change. Now my brother and my nephew, they moved back into our house and, there was a personal tragedy around the time. So I was an angry person, man. It was around this time that I decided to really take creating music and being an MC serious. I linked up with my homeboy. It's actually someone who I have been rapping with since middle school. And, we use technology to our advantage. This was around the time that blogs started to take off, and we uploaded our music to these blogs, to these different websites, and we built our fan base that way. It took off pretty fast. We toured the country. We were featured in publications like OK Player, Prefix Mag, Two Dope Boys. All these different rap publications were giving us love, and we were touring the country and getting love from people too. But, things changed.
In a way, I was a bit isolated from others because of my choices, but now I realize who my real friends are. I would never fall into laziness or easily give up, and I think that's what Sun Zulu and I saw in each other. We have different struggles, and he's 10 years older than me, so of course he has his experiences.
Around 2012, I ended up in Chicago, and being in Chicago, it just blew my mind, man, because there are so many resources there. All right, for instance, when I got there, I decided to visit the library. Yeah, I know. I love to read, I love to expand my mind. And when I went into the basement, man, there was this room. And in this room, it had every type of instrument you could think of. And it had a booth with a nice microphone and a MacBook, and as long as you were between the ages of 11 and 17, you could use the room for free. So I'm thinking why is this not back in Baltimore? And that's how my journey led me back to Baltimore, and that's how the name Sun Zulu was given to me.
I learned how to truly be myself when I was about 16, when I understood that music is not only a passion or a hobby, but it's actually a tool. I listen to a lot of different music, and I hang out with a whole bunch of different people who may have influenced my certain taste in things and vice versa. My message and delivery makes me different, as my message is all about not conforming to society and the standards that the world tries to put you on, all these unrealistic standards that the system tries to make you conform to, such as, gender norms and stereotypes. I just don't conform to that. There's no such thing as a female rapper, as a female this and female that. That's just what you do. If you're good at it, you're good at it. But there's no need to bring gender into anything, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just glad I've been recognized as one of the key players in the hip-hop scene in Cape Town. So I'm happy that my message is actually getting out there.
I wanted to connect the experiences that I had growing up, the beauty that I found in hip hop, to the younger generation. This was right around the time that frustrations were starting to boil, and eventually in 2015, that's when the uprising happened. I could say that's what really opened my eyes to, all right, these parallels between South Africa and Baltimore are becoming more apparent to me. I need to really reach out and figure out how to make this something that's real.
We both have connections to being African and going through the struggle of being young. We met on Instagram in 2017, and I've been following up on him, like he's been following up on me and my music as well. Then we decided to work on a track together that actually explains how music can transcend throughout different cultures, but still find something in common. We really connected, and now I feel like even though I'm still getting to know him, he's like an older brother, because he's literally advising me about many things and what's out there for my musical journey, and I try my best to do the same, you know.
So the track we did together is called Gospel. It was produced by my man Kobe. He's based in Sacramento, spent some of his time in Los Angeles, and you know, it was just perfect. It has a nice piano, it builds with the bass, and we had a lot to say about the world that we live in, and if we had a chance to really go out into the world and connect with one another, what we would do and how we would do it. So, you know, I said for the kids, because that's my experience. That's what I discovered when I came back to Baltimore, that this really is for the kids.
We all have our ways of expressing our concerns and stuff, but for some of us, that is through music. This is how an uprising or a revolution happens, and I think that's how Sun Zulu and I managed to write our verses, coming from very similar angles. We come from places of racist history and major oppression, and our song, it's all about music and how it transcends through different cultures and the redefinition of labels through music. And what you guys call protesting or going on a strike, here we call it toy-toying. But the difference is that here, it's always done through music and singing in unison.
Yeah. Throughout history, both of our cultures have influenced each other. The Black consciousness movement and the Civil Rights movement left long-lasting impacts on the world. People such as Malcolm X, Steve Biko, Nelson Mandela, and Martin Luther King Jr. altered their country's fate and lived lives worth remembering. Although our names and ways of life may slightly vary,
who else is going to be you? You set your own trends and push through the walls of the system. In the end, your sound will be heard.